So after being abruptly fired from Fox News, Tucker Carlson has broken his silence. And he doesn't give away a lot. He doesn't give any clues to us as to what happened exactly. But he's in good spirits and he's making it pretty clear we can expect to see more from him. So let's take a quick look at this and then we can talk about all the stuff surrounding it.
Good evening, it's Tucker Carlson. One of the first things you realize when you step outside the noise for a few days is how many genuinely nice people there are in this country. Kind and decent people, people who really care about what's true, and a bunch of hilarious people also, a lot of those. It's got to be the majority of the population, even now. So that's heartening. The other thing you notice when you take a little time off is how unbelievably stupid most of the debates you see on television are. They're completely irrelevant. They mean nothing. In 5 years, we won't even remember that we had them. Trust me, as someone who's participated. And yet at the same time, and this is the amazing thing, the undeniably big topics, the ones that will define our future, get virtually no discussion at all. War, civil liberties, emerging science, demographic change, corporate power, natural resources. When was the last time you heard a legitimate debate about any of those issues? It's been a long time. Debates like that are not permitted in American media. Both political parties and their donors have reached consensus on what benefits them, and they actively collude to shut down any conversation about it. Suddenly, the United States looks very much like a one-party state. That's a depressing realization, but it's not permanent. Our current orthodoxies won't last. They're brain dead. Nobody actually believes them. Hardly anyone's life is improved by them. This moment is too inherently ridiculous to continue, and so it won't. The people in charge know this. That's why they're hysterical and aggressive. They're afraid. They've given up persuasion. They're resorting to force. But it won't work. When honest people say what's true, calmly and without embarrassment, they become powerful. At the same time, the liars who've been trying to silence them shrink, and they become weaker. That's the iron law of the universe. True things prevail. Where can you still find Americans saying true things? There aren't many places left, but there are some, and that's enough. As long as you can hear the words, there is hope. See you soon.
So Tucker's obviously coming back, and he's going to do something, and that thing, whatever it is, however it manifests itself, it sounds like he wants to raise the discourse on the big issues. You know, the existential issues like war, for instance, civil liberties, immigration. These are things that really matter. And, you know, it seems obvious that a big problem Fox News had with Tucker was that he wasn't just a, establishment robot, a uniparty robot when it came to the big issues. And he had at least former heroes of the left like Glenn Greenwald on to prove it. And to prove that people from different sides of the political spectrum can still have sensible conversations with each other and maybe even come to agree on things that are important, like war and censorship. And yeah, this doesn't seem like a guy who's upset about what's happened. He seems almost, I guess, maybe kind of relieved. Maybe it's cathartic for him to be free, because he'll probably end up being bigger than he was on Fox News now that he's freed of the corporate chains and shackles. But in any case, he didn't give us any clues to, exactly what happened. He didn't confirm anything. We can guess. Here's what Glenn Beck thinks about it.
He gave a speech last Friday, and Friday apparently is the night that they made the decision. And he gave a speech for the 50th anniversary of the Heritage Foundation, and he said this.
It's completely obvious. And I think two things. One, we should say that and stop engaging in these totally fraudulent debates where we are using the terms that we used in 1991 when I started at Heritage, as if maybe, I could just win the debate if I marshaled more facts. I've tried that, doesn't work. And two, maybe we should all take just like 10 minutes a day to say a prayer about it. I'm serious, why not? And I'm saying that to you, not as some kind of evangelist, I'm literally saying that to you as an Episcopalian. The Samaritans of our time. I'm coming to you from the most humble and lowly theological position you can. I'm literally an Episcopalian, okay? And even I have concluded it might be worth taking just 10 minutes out of your busy schedule to say a prayer for the future. And I hope you will.
Okay, now let me give you some context on this. He was talking about the difference of good and evil and, marshaling, facts to fight things like CRT and DEI, et cetera, et cetera. Now, Rupert Murdoch's son, is the one that made the decision to fire Carlson along with Suzanne Scott. This is something that bothers Rupert deeply bothers him. I was told not to use the word God on the air anymore. And I was like, wow, okay. And they're like, you got to stop using it. And 3 months go by, and he comes back, and he says, do you know how many times? Do you not remember when I said, don't talk about God all the time? And I said, yes. And he said, do you know how many times you've said God on the air since that? I looked at him, and I kind of laughed, and I said, you counted? And he said, I can't remember the number, but it was like 91 times. I'm like, huh? Now stop it. Okay, well, I didn't. But that really bothered them.
So, that's one possible thing, right? Can we confirm that? No, but that's a possible thing. And look, I'm not a religious man myself, but I got to admit, this whole godlessness thing isn't going so great, is it? I'm not calling for anybody to be turned into a pillar of salt here or anything, but have you seen what Sam Smith's been up to? But in any case, I don't know if Glenn Beck's right or not, but there's one theory. And let's just end this off with the fact that I think Fox might be losing more than Tucker. In fact, I'm certain that Fox is losing more than Tucker. I don't think Tucker needs them. I think Tucker can write his own check, basically. I think he's so popular, and I think he's going to become even more popular. Fox just lost $800 million in stock value after announcing that he left. And how is that going to get better? Because who are they going to replace him with? Because if they're planning to just replace him with another Hannity or another Ingram, I don't think that's going to work. They're not going to bring in the independents and the young demographic. Tucker was the only guy who had any young demographic at all. And that's across cable news, CNN, NBC, all of them. I think the average age of the CNN viewer is about 87. So they don't have long anyway. If Fred Astaire and Gene Kelly were resurrected and took on the main anchor spots for them, it still wouldn't matter. They might as well just pay $50 million a year to Rachel Maddow because, let's face it, the fate of cable news is sealed already. The streaming and independent journalism has reduced its power already, and that's only going to continue. Anyway, please subscribe, like, and share. Sharing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.